The scale models were actually not really part of the project. It was essentially to give us apart from the fun of actually seeing them go up and going bang, 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 which of course is always nice, apart from that, it was to give us a feeling of confidence that we could actually build something that would work. They had 6 explosive charges, which were just chemical explosives. Each of them was, I think, half a pound of high explosive. It had to be done rather carefully. The bombs were shot out through a hole in the bottom. So it's heavy machinery clattering back and forth to get these things out. So it's rather like a machine gun, but on a big scale. The ship had to be something like 100-foot diameter to take the impact without getting blown to pieces. So it had to be big right from the beginning. And so that set the scale of the thing, so that we were talking about ships that weighed 5,000 tons, carried 1,000 bombs. And so it was built more like a submarine than like an airplane. We were all very enthusiastic. Of course, we were all young, and we went out on Saturday mornings for these model flights, and I always went along because it was tremendous fun. The main driving force for me was actually exploring the solar system and the fact that we could do it a lot cheaper than they could with chemical rockets. I had dreams of beating Werner von Braun by about a factor of 10. He estimated it would take 10 billion to get to Mars, and we thought we could do it for 1 billion. So that was roughly the challenge.
But would the public embrace the idea of more nuclear explosions, just when military testing was creating a wave of fear and anxiety? Clouds of fallout from military tests drifted across North America and around the world. As it landed, it awakened a new understanding of the environment.
You had radioactive material, including strontium-90, in the air, comes down, for example, in rainfall, gets on the grass, is taken up by the leaves, the cows eat it, gets into their milk, the kids drink the milk, gets into their bones and teeth.
The cows give milk. The milk is fed to babies, and my God, what's happening to the babies?
What are the main hazards involved? Is it fallout? Yes, it is fallout, but it isn't immediate sickness. It's long-term effect, genetic, but above all cancer, bone cancer in children.
Barry Commoner's group, the Citizens for Nuclear Information, began collecting baby teeth and tested them for strontium.
The biological danger, the danger of cancer from the strontium-90, is in the bones, not in the teeth. The teeth are simply a way of getting a convenient sample in a non-intrusive way. And people understood right away that the idea of collecting teeth and analyzing it for this purpose made a lot of sense.
This was parents afraid of what's happening to the kids and anxious to participate in some kind of study to get some information. I think the basic thing was we didn't know what all this fallout meant. It felt sort of ominous, but we didn't know much about what to do about it, and this seemed to be an innocuous way of finding out.
Every kid that gave a tooth got a little button that said, "I gave my tooth to science." And I still meet people who say, you know, I walked around grade 1 with a button like that.
In the end, the thing got so much publicity that we were getting teeth from all over the world.
People totally understood, if I don't want strontium-90 in my children's teeth, I can't privatize that. It's indivisible. I must see to it that there's no strontium-90 in any children's teeth anywhere in the world. So that was a recruitment for a peace movement, as well as an immense education in what living in a common environment means. And you don't muck around with that because you can't clean it up.
Concern about fallout helped to build the peace movement, and this had an immediate and unexpected impact on a ploughshare project in Canada. Prime Minister Diefenbaker was under intense pressure to keep nuclear weapons out of his country. But one of Ploughshare's first experiments was supposed to take place in the Athabasca tar sands in Alberta.
The possibility of releasing petroleum from oil shale is suggested by the fact that most of the energy was released as heat. The crushing and heating would distill petroleum through pipes to the surface.
The provincial government and the oil industry endorsed the plan. In Washington, the Atomic Energy Commission, which controlled Ploughshare, went ahead and announced a date. It was a political bombshell. The Canadian Prime Minister was getting mail from voters objecting to the plan. Diefenbaker was opposed to the spread of any nuclear explosives, military or civilian, and the project was scrapped.